Everyone says they want to change the world. But not everyone will. We are not everyone.
Needed a car that worked harder than a car. We built them a truck, and they used our trucks to build interstates and industries and communities, livelihoods and neighborhoods. Americans needed vehicles worthy of who they are and what they can do. So we built them a truck.
If you're hunting for
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
At Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
Peace of mind for you. Most soldiers serve because they want to give back to their country. Then they find out that being part of the South Dakota Army National Guard comes with other rewards. Beyond earning additional pay and getting help with education costs, South Dakota soldiers and their families will enjoy even more real benefits, such as inexpensive health care through the TRICARE system and low-cost life insurance that pays up to $400,000. Take care of your health, your family, and your future. For more information, go to nationalguard.com/tools/life insurance or 1-800-GO.
Don't be fooled by all this talk of supplier pricing or employee pricing or whatever pricing you hear. Harry K. Ford sells for INVOICE every day. It doesn't come and go. It's here to stay. Harry K. Ford, your only dealer who puts our community first.
When you expect more, you expect more. When you expect more, Dakota Prairie Bank, providing great service right from the start. It's our promise to you that sets us apart. With every handshake and a smile, we go that extra mile. When you expect more, you expect more. When you expect more, Dakota Prairie Bank.
The Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.
Rosenberg Implement, your family-owned John Deere dealer, has a deal for you this week only. Save 8% off bulk fluid storage products at Rosenberg Implement with 8 locations in South Dakota, Nebraska, and Wyoming. Call the parts department for options that will fit your operations. Don't forget they have on-farm delivery for oil, antifreeze, and any other parts you may need. This deal is only at Rosenberg Implement, servicing your growing needs since 1937.
Don't be fooled by all this talk of supplier pricing or employee pricing or whatever pricing you hear. Harry K. Ford sells for INVOICE every day. It doesn't come and go. It's here to stay. Harry K. Ford, your only dealer who puts our community first.
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
Service Master of Pierre is your go-to service experts for a wide variety of cleaning needs. Since 2003, we have developed the most effective methods and products to service virtually every type of industry. We're known for our exceptional carpet and upholstery cleaning, but did you know we also offer cleaning of all types of flooring, along with providing fire and water restoration, commercial cleaning, janitorial services, and construction cleanup. Service Master of Pierre is a proud sponsor of TF Riggs Governors and Lady Govs, as well as Stanley County Buffaloes and Lady Buffs activities.
Hi, this is Randy Schumacher with Capital City Monuments. Due to the virus issue, staying at home is a good thing. I can answer any questions by phone and do designs with you through email for a loved one. It is an honor for me to work with families and their memorial needs. Please call Capital City Monuments at 220-0417. Thank you.
If you're hunting for a great deal on your next ride, get into Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre. We're locked and loaded on all of our new and used inventory, like this 2018 Toyota Highlander, only $28,495. Looking for low price reliability? Try a 2011 Honda Accord for only $6,995. Who wants a loaded up truck? We have a 2014 Chevy Silverado 1500 LTZ for only $17,995. Get to Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre, 518 East Sioux Avenue. Call 605-224-7378 and visit GatewayFLT.com.
Back over, Lincoln Schoenhardt, the seventh grader, takes on a fellow seventh grader, Xander Nielsen, who is off to a good start. 14-3 on the season. At 113 for the Governors is Noah Williams. At 15-4, he will take on Sam Davis, a freshman for Brandon Valley at 10-9. At 120, it'll be Tristan Spencer, the freshman, at 10-2. He'll take on Jordan Omi of Brandon Valley, who is 11-2 and a sophomore. Omi's brother Trayson is 10-0, and he wrestles at 126. He'll take on Blake Judson in our final match tonight. And given how this thing could go, who knows? It could go down to the wire, and maybe it ends up going to that last match. So Blake Judson, Trayson Omi should be a good one. We're looking forward to it. Those are the starting lineups for both teams, Pierre and Brandon Valley, in our Governor Wrestling pregame. Again, Sean Lewis, the head coach for Pierre. It is Derek Outland, the head coach of the Brandon Valley Lynx. He's assisted by Mike Walker, Tom Meester, and Craig Pressler, tonight's starting lineups. And once again, our starting lineup for the Law on the Mat. Tonight's game officials are brought to you by the South Dakota Office of the Attorney General and their Consumer Protection Division. Let's hear from them, and we'll talk about the Law on the Mat tonight as we continue with our Governor Wrestling pregame.
Monitor your accounts, especially during the holidays. Remember to track your accounts frequently for any fraudulent transactions, whether through mobile banking or online access. Sign up for notifications or text alerts from your bank that might indicate suspicious activity. This can range from mobile deposit alerts, big purchase alerts, password change alerts, etc. If you receive an alert, immediately reach out to your bank to ensure it is not a scam. Do not click on the link. With questions, contact the South Dakota Consumer Protection Division, 1-800-300-1986.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
Got out west in Spearfish, Sturgis, Rapid City Central, and Rapid City Stevens. It'll be in that order for the Governors tomorrow, starting at 10 o'clock, and we'll be on the air on River 92.7 at 9:30 in the morning with a full day of wrestling coming up tomorrow. But again, our Law on the Mat from the South Dakota Office of the Attorney General. Here in Brandon Valley coming up, I don't know that they'll do I don't believe we'll do another national anthem, but we still may have face-offs or at least player introductions, wrestler introductions coming up here, so still a little bit of time. As again, the big match on the season. Governors have already dropped one in the ESD by 1 point at Watertown, 33-32. Now the Governors have to hope that Watertown, when they wrestle Brandon Valley later on, can get a victory. It might be considered an upset, but Watertown, obviously a quality program and a really good lineup, just like the Governors have, and certainly just like the Lynx have as well. And Coach Ryan Noyes, we'll go back to that dual conversation, but and those of us who have been around a long time know ESD conference play, whether it's basketball, football, now volleyball, wrestling, it's always kind of a big deal, but winning the conference for the Pierre wrestling program is always the first goal of the season before moving on to the postseason, right?
It is, and it's hard to explain why that's so important other than it is our conference, but it seems like we put more emphasis on that than the region tournament even, and so, it's a lot of fun. There's always good rivalry between these schools, and tonight's no exception.
So with Brandon Valley coming up, and again, now we gave them, we've given the starting lineups for Brandon Valley. We mentioned Navarro Shunky at 285, but his older brother Damian, who was a state champion a year ago, would be wrestling at 182. But he's, Brandon Valley could be better than what they've got. They just don't have Shunky tonight.
Yeah, it's scary to think of how good they really could be, and who knows if any of those other kids that we don't know about are not wrestling due to injuries as well. And I know Klinkhammer was injured earlier in the year, so some of their kids might even be at 70-80%.
And we mentioned Gavin Chapman, who was listed as maybe the starter at 145. We don't expect him to wrestle. Looks like Caden Langenhorst would probably be the odds-on favorite to step up into that weight class. He is 7-10 on the season. He's a junior. He would take on Trey Lewis. So once again, we expect some shuffling of the lineups here. Let's talk about that. As you talked about the strategies, and I know Coach Lewis wants to be the in this case, given the rosters, do you expect him to prefer the odd or the even in this case? And starting at 132 pounds.
Yeah, that's just it too. That puts a whole nother kink in the plans, when you're starting in the middle of the lineup like that. It will be interesting. I got to believe they're going to want to have their opponent show first at 45, and then from there we'll know what we're doing.
All right, and at 45, that depends on whether the Governors show a Trey Lewis or Tyson Johnson, moving up to Deegan Huska later on, and that does kind of set things up. So they continue with the naming of the starting lineups on the mat here. Let's take a 2-minute timeout, and we come back, and we're wrestling Pierre and Brandon Valley. We do have a live stream up and running through drgnews.com. Real quickly, as we may not have had the NFHS live stream for that Brookings duel, we do have it up now, so go to the KGFX page of drgnews.com, scroll down and click for the live stream, and you'll be able to see this match as well as hear it. Let's take a timeout here, and we're back to wrestle. Let's take a 1-minute break, and we begin next on KGFX and drgnews.com.
At Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
Peace of mind for you. Most soldiers serve because they want to give back to their country. Then they find out that being part of the South Dakota Army National Guard comes with other rewards. Beyond earning additional pay and getting help with education costs, South Dakota soldiers and their families will enjoy even more real benefits, such as inexpensive health care through the TRICARE system and low-cost life insurance that pays up to $400,000. Take care of your health, your family, and your future. For more information, go to nationalguard.com/tools/life insurance or 1-800-GO Guard. Peace of mind for you.
And welcome back to Riggs High Gym, and here we go. 132 pounds we start. Hearing from Lynn's Dakota Mart, they sponsor the opening match of the night. And right away, Brandon Valley with Tegan Harstad, or rather Alex Menser, getting with it with Kaylor Hyman. Menser, the sophomore, A state runner-up for Sioux Falls Lincoln at 120 pounds last year, now moving to Brandon Valley and already off to a good start. He has a 2-0 lead with a takedown as we are underway. And again, JV matches will be going on. We'll try to keep you updated on that, but for our sake in the live stream, we've got just the varsity match that we will focus on. Both teams in black singlets tonight. Governors with the green cummerbund. Now Menser working into an attempted cradle, but Kaylor Hyman, for the time being, was able to stay out of it. There's 3 back points. So he did not stay out of it. They were pending, and Bud Postma, who is now officiating the varsity matches here after Dave Korneman did the Pierre and Brookings duel. Mr. Postma, one of the best out there. Always like watching this guy do his matches.
Yeah, Bud's been around a long time. Just a staple for South Dakota officials.
And just one of the faces of the game, so to speak, if you want to call it that. 5-0 here as the 2 wrestlers will go out of bounds, and they'll come back to the middle. So now, with the live stream that we've got, you'll be able to see the big mat focus to our left. And the first period almost over, 8 seconds to go, but coming back in play to start up again. Menser off to a good start. And really, you can say what you want about the enrollment, and I mentioned earlier, I talked to Alex's mother when we were out at break in between and kind of asked them what the situation was. They moved from Sioux Falls to Brandon, but you go from a Sioux Falls Lincoln program that really doesn't have a lot in the wrestling room to a Brandon Valley program, and for a kid like Menser, definitely a good move for him.
Yeah, if you're looking to load up a program, he's a guy that's going to help you, for sure.
And that's not the point I was trying to make. I was thinking of him personally, probably get a little, maybe a little better, maybe some more opportunities later.
He's certainly going to have kids in the room that can push him more than what he was going to get at Sioux Falls Lincoln.
Yeah, Alex with a 2-point reversal here, so 7-0 here, early second period. And again, key to success that Sean Lewis told us tonight is early before the Brookings duel, but especially for this duel, is going to be bonus points. There's going to be a lot of matches here that could go 50-50, and it's those matches. You got to win the 50-50s, but you got to get those bonus points in the matches that you expect to win right off the bat.
It's true, and against kids like Alex here, you got to hang on. He's already given up 7 points. He's got to find a way to keep it under 8.
To minimize bonus points and wrestle defensively, even though his chances of winning this one on paper may not be all that good. So 7-0, out of bounds they'll go. 48 seconds to go. Second period. Got a JV match that has Brandon Valley in front 4-3 as they begin their second period. That's the first on the JV mat. We've got a false start on the red wrestler here, and that is Menser.
You're supposed to get in this situation and put your chin in the middle of the back, and he was more so over his shoulder, and so, boy, it's real close there.
Yeah. So Heinman, as we continue here, gets up on his feet, breaks free. We do have a bigger crowd. We're going to hear a lot more from that crowd, I think, as this night goes, than what we had in that first duel.
That's when it gets fun, when you get the student body behind it and get kids fired up and helps them perform a little bit better too.
So sizing each other up, Kaylor Heinman, the senior, Alex Menser, the sophomore for Brandon Valley. It's Menser leading 7-1. Matt Tapper will come out and be ready to end this one in about 10 seconds as far as the second period is concerned.
Well, when you look at Alex, he does not look like a sophomore. He is put together.
And he's really, I got to say, developed in the last couple of years, too, because I remember seeing him a couple of years ago, and he looked like a 5th grader instead of an 8th grader. But
there he did it again. That's his second caution.
You get 2 cautions. The third one will count against you. As Hyman in the down position again. Governors with a JV pin.
3 minutes and 32 seconds of wrestling on the JV mat. Your winner by fall for the Governors.
And
Chance Sarda.
Chance Sarda with the win. to our right. And again, with the live stream, don't have that one focused on. We've got the varsity going here. Hyman up to his feet. It's the third period underway. And a stalling warning now. And a one-point escape along with it. Warning goes to Alex Mincer. But what was a 7-0 lead and 1 point from being a major decision margin is now cut back to 5 at 7-2. As Hyman, I'd say right now since that first period, certainly holding his own.
He is, you know, and he seems to get a little bit better
as the match goes along.
Right. Yep.
So they're locked up. See if Hyman can find a way to get underneath, but Mincer smothers him as Kaler goes low, and now a reverse.
That hurt. He walked right into a kind of a cradle situation, near side cradle, and gave up 5 points pretty quick.
And
he's not out of trouble yet.
Boy, and Mincer was able to see that happen as Hyman got down in there. It just seemed like they were just going to be locked up ear to ear, face down on the floor, but Mincer got Hyman in trouble again. There are back points pending, if I'm not mistaken. Over near the left edge. Hyman doing his best to stay face down, but his left shoulder turned around behind him. Got that arm back. Now 3 back points here. Got a whistle, but that's in the JV match.
About 10 seconds left here.
Keep going. Right now it is a major decision margin, 12-2. Alex Mincer leading. Kaler Hyman as they'll head out of bounds and come back to start over. 8 seconds to be exact. Well, even a reversal would still be a major decision here. And this one's going to come to an end, and Brandon Valley will draw first blood at 1:32. They'll take a 4-0 lead in the duel with a 12-2 victory, and we'll take a 30-second break. We move to 1:38 next. This is Governor Wrestling.
Don't be fooled by all this talk of supplier pricing or employee pricing or whatever pricing you hear. Harry K. Ford sells for INVOICE every day. It doesn't come and go. It's here to stay. Harry K. Ford, your only dealer who puts our community first.
Now and into the future, too. Call 224-8803. May Adam Law Firm of Pierre, since 1881.
Back at Riggs High Gym, match number 2 comes up at 138 pounds. Brian Oakland with Coach Ryan Noyes alongside. Governors trailing 4-0 as Brandon Valley wins that first one at 1:32 at 12-2. Major decision for Alex Mincer over Kaler Hyman of the Governors. Here at 1:38, Hayden Schaefer. They have the upper hand in this one. He gets the first takedown about 45 seconds into the match, and a 2-0 lead. Schaefer, the junior for the Governors, 16-3 on the season. He battles against Tegan Harstad, I believe, for Brandon Valley, who is 1-2. Harstad, a name I recognize, but obviously 1-2, has not had a lot of wrestling. Maybe injuries, as we've talked about in that Brandon Valley circle, found its way to Harstad early in the season. Schaefer working on top, leading 2-0. Harstad now is trying to stay rigid here, and you can tell right away it looks like Harstad just doesn't want to give anything up.
Yeah, you know, and this was one of those things, too, as a coach, where you know you're wrestling a good kid. And Schaefer, you're saying survive. Do what you got to do. Tie up hands. Don't give up anything.
Do more of that rather than trying to score on your own.
Right. Yeah, sometimes it's just a matter of survival.
6 minutes in that sense can be an awful long time.
Right.
For guys that, like me, that aren't in very good shape. So you've got a 2-0 lead here for Schaefer. 2 seconds, 1, and our first period will come to an end. So he got a good takedown, but couldn't do much with it.
Well, and this is one of those things, too, where you got to decide if you're going to get him turned on top or not. And if you can't, you got to start cutting him loose and taking him down to get that major decision.
Second period about to begin. Brandon Valley junior varsity wrestler got a 10-2 lead going on to our right, and the JV mat.
Looks like Hostler again.
So with Schaefer working underneath, Tegan Harstad over the top, but Schaefer leading 2-0. Now we talked about, did you notice the flip? And we're talking about who shows first and things like that. As Schaefer breaks free, he'll lead 3-0.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I guess I should have been paying attention there, and I didn't.
That next match will be the 145 that you were kind of interested in, so we'll see who shows first in the next one. Here comes Schaefer looking for the double leg. Looking pretty good so far, and now he's got the 2-point takedown, his second of the match. He'll lead 4-0, or make it 5-0 in this match. Now working into a cradle. Schaefer looking for some scoring opportunity, and just like that, the crowd in front of us.
This is right where he wants to. Yeah, this is right where he wants to be. This is going to get tight. Schaefer doing a nice job putting his knee in the side.
And Harstad, not a lot of movement. When you say tight, that's kind of what I'm gathering. There's not a lot of movement from the other wrestler. It's just a matter of whether Hayden can get their shoulders down. Bud Postma trying to get a look from every different angle here. Still plenty of time, 35 seconds, second period.
This is tight. It's really tight. Bud's looking, like you said, he's looking as hard as he can, and sometimes it's hard to see the pin, but.
Well, it almost looks like over on that other side is where you'd want to get a good look at it. Here's Schaefer. Everybody in the gym thinks he's got the pin here. He still has 13 seconds, and Schaefer can't finish it. Harstad breaks out. 3 back points for Hayden Schaefer. And technically, what do we have here? Another point to Hayden. 2 seconds left here.
Yeah, he was peeling his fingers. Had one finger and was peeling it back, trying to break the grip.
So another penalty point. This one goes to Schaefer. 9-0 our score. 2 seconds left, second period, and maybe a missed opportunity for Hayden Schaefer, but still, as we get set to go to the third period, they'll start neutral. Schaefer has a couple of takedowns already.
And you can see he comes out right away and just grabs Hayden's wrist. He's planning on trying to tie him up and slow it down as much as he can this third period.
And Tegan Harstad, a senior, hasn't had the success that a lot of his teammates have had over the years, but he's still been around and obviously kind of knows the reasons why they do what they do if you're in his position. Schaefer getting down. Now he's got a takedown.
And a lot of time to go to work, but he needs to get to it right away. And there's the crossface. He's going for it.
11-0, the updated score in the match. Brandon Valley won the first match at 132 by a major decision for Alex Menser over Kaylor Heinman. They lead the duel 4-0. 14 full matches to come in this one, ending at 126 as we work our way up.
For Pierre to be in good position here, we want to score more. Obviously, we want to score more than Brandon Valley, but they got a major decision in their first match. If we can come out here and get a tech fall or a pin, that helps steer the momentum in our favor a bit.
Try to counter everything with just one better, obviously. So here's a stalling warning for the Brandon Valley wrestler. Still 11-0, and Hayden Schaefer's got 36 seconds to go here in the third period, but getting close to the edge. And it didn't seem like anything was happening. Maybe this is a good thing for Schaefer to come back to the middle and get set up once again. Another JV match underway, a minute in, but Brandon Valley got an initial takedown. I think they've gone 1-1, one for Pierre and one for Brandon Valley on the JV mat so far. First one to Brandon Valley on the varsity mat. Hayden Schaefer in good shape to at least draw even with an 11-0 lead. He's trying to work into a cradle here. Crowd trying to urge him, but boy, staying stiff is Tegan Harstad. Schaefer can't get the leg up, and he's under 10 seconds to go here. Looks like a major decision to match for the Governors here at 138. Your final score, 11-0. Hayden Schaefer improves to 17-3. We're tied at 4-4 on the Wagner Auto scoreboard. 30 seconds, and we go to 145 next. This is Governor Wrestling.
He weighs only 22 pounds. He sleeps most of the day, but he has a lot of squeaky toys. And whoo, boy, does he like to run. If your new puppy or other addition to your family has turned your starter home from cozy to cramped, it might be time to talk to a member of the First Dakota National Bank's home loan team about the competitive rates on our More Room for the Dog to Run loans. Bank yourself at home with First Dakota, because who knew a puggle could take up so much space? Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Back at Riggs High Gym, it's Trey Lewis on the mat for the Governors, the freshman, taking on Caden Langenhorst. He's a junior, 7-10 on the season. This is what we ultimately assumed we would see. Again, Gavin Chapman, an injured wrestler for Brandon Valley, not in action tonight. I understand he had a shoulder surgery yesterday from our Brandon Valley contact. Again, former Riggs High classmate of mine. That was 30 years ago.
You're old. Of course, I'm not too far behind.
Yeah, a couple of years between. 4-4 in the duel again, and we still have wrestlers on their feet to begin this first period, already into the final minute. 45 seconds to go. Trey Lewis, Caden Langenhorst. Trey, of course, coach's kid. Son of Sean Lewis. And now he tries to get low here. And Langenhorst trying to counter. Almost seemed like Lewis had that window to maybe start getting him flipped, but they'll break free and come back and try it again.
Pretty big feeling out. I mean, here we are, 10 seconds left, and no score yet in the first period.
Boy, again,
nice,
he'll try to throw here, and he gets it. There's a takedown at the end of the first period.
That was pretty slick. Trey has definitely impressed me.
Yeah. And he's he hasn't wrestled varsity all season for the most part, but he's gone to tournaments, and he's really off to a nice start this season, record-wise.
Yeah. Trey's a tough kid, and the thing I like so much about Trey is he just has almost zero emotion, whether he wins or he loses. He's pretty calm, cool, and collected. And that was a pretty explosive move right at the end of the period to score 2.
Didn't have time to do anything else with it, but as we begin the second period, Trey in the down, Langenhorst above, and now Trey trying to spin up over the top. Left leg still tied up by the hold of Langenhorst.
And he just ended up turning the wrong way there. That's a little bit of that youth that comes out every now and again.
So Langenhorst still in control. No points awarded, as this is how they began the period. Still 2-0. Trey Lewis with that late takedown to close out the first period.
Trey does not want to stick around with him on top. He's got legs in. Trey's on his stomach. And it's not a good position to be in.
Langenhorst trying to figure out some way to get some scoring done himself, and stalling on the Brandon Valley wrestler.
Yeah, you've got to be able to show that you're working and not just tying legs up. And this was a situation where he wasn't getting off to the side, wasn't getting much done. So
as they reset, there's a 1-point escape. Quickly, Lewis up. I sometimes assimilate it to. Show you're doing something. Don't bore that official to death to where he's going to get tired of watching and change the channel, so to speak. So 3-0 the score. Trey Lewis again had that nice throw for the takedown in that first period. See if he can try to work his way into another one here as we're halfway through the second.
A win here is big, but I like Trey in a scramble situation. I think he's got a pretty good opportunity or chance to catch his opponent on his back and get a big pin.
Pin for Brandon Valley in the JV side of things. I think they've gone 3 of the first 4 for the Lynx in JV matches. Second period done now. 1-point advance by Trey Lewis. He leads Caden Langenhorst 3-0. On paper, I don't know if this would be one of those 50-50 matches that Coach Lewis would assume, but still it looks like already we can tell it's going to go down to the wire. See what Lewis can do in the up position now as this third period begins. We're tied in the duel, 4-4. Major decisions for Alex Mincer of Brandon Valley over Kaylor Heinman, and for Hayden Schaefer of Pierre over Tegan Harstad of Brandon Valley.
Now in a scramble situation, it's whoever can. Wow.
He's trying to hang on. Harstad finally breaks free.
Just some unique, unorthodox stuff going on in this match. It could be some of the youth again, but some of that youth is turning into some high-level wrestling too.
It really is. 3-1 our score now. Lewis still has the lead. And again, so far he's got the only takedown of this match, and he could use another one here. Oh, but it's Langenhorst with a quick shot. He gets underneath, one leg up, Lewis up in the air. Lewis will try to hang on, but he's already had that takedown counted against him, and now he's got to be careful he doesn't get put on his back. Langenhorst looking for the leverage here.
Lewis is looking to get a switch here. He's in pretty good shape to get it.
There it is. 2 points back to Trey Lewis. A 3-3 tie becomes 5-3 to the Governor Wrestler, and now 37 seconds counting down here in the third period.
Well, Trey got taken down. He reached up to adjust his headgear. His opponent saw that and took a shot. You take your hands and you put them on your head, you open up your legs.
Langenhorst out again. 1 point escape. We've got a 1 point match. Boy, he comes right back to Lewis. Caden Langenhorst would really like to get something for the Lynx in this one. The way he reacted. 10 seconds. Can Lewis hang on? They're at the edge. Lewis is getting close here to getting turned over, but he couldn't get it done. Could Langenhorst match over? 3-2-1, and Trey Lewis finishes off a 5-4 decision win. So the Governors will tack on 3 on the duel, and they'll lead Brandon Valley 7-4. We'll go to 1:52 in 30 seconds. This is Pierre Governor Wrestling.
Smart grocery shopping takes a little bit of TLC. Lynn's Dakota Mart in Pierre is thrifty, local, and convenient.
When you expect more, you expect more. When you expect more, Dakota Prairie Bank, providing great service right from the start. It's our promise to you that sets us apart. With every handshake and a smile, we go that extra mile. When you expect more, you expect more. When you expect more, Dakota Prairie Bank.
It's a 1-2 of the first 3 now, and here is Tyson Johnson at 152, double leg and a lift and a put down and a 2-pointer here for Johnson to get started. He's taking on a freshman, Grayson Bortnam, for Brandon Valley. Bortnam just 2-4 so far on the season. Johnson, now this is one obviously the Governors will expect bonus points, I would imagine, heavily favored in just one of the weight classes where as much depth as Brandon Valley has, maybe not so much at 152. Johnson normally at 145, moved up for the Brookings duel, moves up for this one as well. Tyson off to a really fine year so far, just 1 loss. He's 17-1.
He's, like you said, he's one of those guys that as a senior, this is the guy you're looking for bonus points out of. He's the one that you got to have come through in a big way.
JV match going on, couple of middleweights, a 6-3 lead for the Governors on that mat right now, first period.
Tyson's one of those kids that just loves the sport of wrestling. I mean, he's happiest when he's out on the mat, and so those are the kids that always seem to progress the fastest, and those are the kids that usually have some really good things happen to them.
30 seconds to go as he tries to get him rolled over here. Working up high. Looks like he's trying to turn him to the right, but sometimes you get your own leg in the way. And now Tyson looks like he's trying to break free and almost can't do it, but first period coming to its final seconds here. An early takedown for Tyson Johnson, but Grayson Bortnam holding serve and not allowing anything else.
You know, as a 9th grader against a Tyson, that's a win for him that period. So we got to get some scoring going here in the second and third period.
Johnson will start in a down here to begin the second. His choice, boy, he sits up and gets slammed back to the mat. And again, is this, sometimes unless we hear what Ryan Munson is announcing, we assume this to be Grayson Bortnam. He's the one that's listed. Johnson gets away from him, though, and a 1-point escape, now up 3-0. Johnson had a quick takedown early. Goes again low. Reaches for that right leg, spins over, but nothing yet. Now he's got a better opportunity. There's a 2-pointer. Takedown Johnson, and Bortnam on his back suddenly.
This is going to get tight. Oh, hang on there, Tyson. Gosh.
Mr. Jinx happens.
I know it. Gosh.
All right, so back points have been awarded here as Bortnam is face down. Now 8-0 the score, but more points or more seconds being counted here. So Johnson now in a scoring period. Only got 2 in the first, but now he's got 9 here in the second. Still 50 seconds to wrestle. 11-0. Johnson with the lead.
Here, working a force half here. Switching off to bar arms.
And Bortnam fights that off. I think in the middleweights, as you look at this lineup, Coach, it's I think the Governors feel that the middle right now and right where we're at is maybe this one, well, certainly not the next one, but this is where the Governors had to be hoping. They've won 2 in a row, and maybe this one to get as many points as they possibly can.
Right. Tyson just hit a quick little tilt here. Nothing to look for a pin, but just to get a couple near fall points. It didn't end up getting them, though.
Didn't get any, nope. Still 11-0, 3, 2, and 1. The second period now comes to an end. Tyson Johnson 11, Grayson Bortnam 0. Still 2 minutes to wrestle.
They did us a favor going on the feet. That's exactly where I'd want to be if I'm Tyson, because he's gone feet to back a couple different times.
And he's done it quickly when he's taken those shots. We'll see if he can get another one here. There it goes, perhaps. And, boy, almost did go feet to back, as you mentioned, but this time just face down for Bortnam. 2-point takedown, however.
I'd cut him immediately.
Johnson trying to get Bortnam back to the mat, but ended up completely on top of his own body. Now he come back over the top once again. You like him on his feet, obviously, and maybe letting him up would have been a way to go, but he might have an opportunity here, using the legs especially.
Kid's just really flexible. He got his 2 and got his tech
2
fall.
points. All right, 15-0. The final score. Bonus points to the Governors. That'll tack on 5. They'll lead the Lynx 12-4, but a big match coming up at 160. And, they're already reporting, so we'll keep it here. But on the Wagner Auto scoreboard.
That was Deegan Huska. Tyson Johnson's wrestling now.
Oh, up to 160. Well, quite a win for Huska. Is that what you just heard that then?
No, I just saw Tyson come out here.
Okay. It's another thing about getting old. My eyes don't see so well from this distance as to who's who. You know the kids better than I do, obviously, as well. So big win there for Deegan Huska with that technical fall. Now Tyson Johnson against Isaac Klinkhammer. That kind of makes this a marquee matchup.
Yeah, this is a big one, but going to be tough to give up that kind of weight.
Yeah, Johnson normally 145, but he did weigh in to 152 here this evening. Klinkhammer undefeated on the year, 8-0 so far. Hasn't had a whole lot of matches. As Coach mentioned, was injured a little bit early in the season. Isaac has that first takedown here. And now Tyson Johnson is in trouble.
Klinkhammer is just, man, he's just a good wrestler. He just does not have any weak spots. I mean, sometimes wrestlers are really good on the feet or really good from the feet and from down, but rarely do you have somebody that's just really good from all areas, and that's what you have in Isaac.
And he's got Johnson In a painful predicament here, but Johnson trying to stay flexible, boy. As he's trying to adjust, Johnson doing whatever he can, but this one has come to an end. That'll be a pin for Isaac Klinkhammer in a time of 1.5 minutes. So Brandon Valley will tack on 6. That's major bonus points. The Governors still lead the duel, though, 12-10, our score on the Wagner Auto scoreboard, brought to you by Wagner Auto Company in Pierre, the one place to go. Keeping it here for 160, but another point about Klinkhammer, and people may remember that it was Isaac Klinkhammer who went undefeated as a freshman and beat Lincoln Turman in the finals for Pierre. A hobbled Lincoln Turman, but still, boy, undefeated is quite an accomplishment for anybody, obviously. And Isaac Klinkhammer still has that kind of ability in him. Here's Lucas Chamberlain for the Governors, the freshman.
Jaden Wiebe, actually.
Oh, Jaden Wiebe, okay.
So Jaden wrestled this guy up in Brandon Valley, and it was a 3-point match. And I think they like their chances with him. This is the same.
Lucas Slack?
Yeah, he's undefeated.
He's listed at 18-0 on the season, sophomore, and I believe he's got to be another one of them that's new to the Valley program. I'd say just a name that we don't recognize.
Yep.
So nice move for Slack and a 2-point takedown.
What I was saying, though, is they like their chance with Jaden. You know, you can keep a match to 3 points. You like your chances in a rematch.
Yeah. Well, and one thing we talked with Coach Lewis in our pre-game interview, keys to success, is the Governors and the coaching staff, I think, very good at taking losses early in the season and improving much better as the season goes along. You may take a couple of losses, but maybe that third time you see a kid later in the season, you come up with a win.
That's crucial. Those are the things that have to happen.
So again, the duel has Brandon Valley leading 12-10. That after 5 weight classes. Here with Jaden Wiebe moving up into 170 pounds against Lucas Slack. But trailing 2-0, but he's doing a pretty good job of staying staying nothing, let's say.
Well, Jaden wants to keep it close. I mean, he wants to give him a shot at the end of the match to win it. If he can be down by 2, you know, obviously we'd take a win or, going ahead. But if he can keep it within 2 points for most of the match and have a shot to tie or to win at the end, that would be exactly what we need.
Well, and of course, that recurring theme of bonus points will keep coming up every time, and Governors are trying to prevent bonus points where necessary and obviously score bonus points where they've got to have them, kind of like Deegan Huska did on that technical fault, 15-0. Always hate it when they throw those curveballs. You call a guy Tyson Johnson for an entire match, and here it's Deegan Huska doing great things, really.
Right.
So, another pat on the back to Deegan Huska.
I was going to blame your old age, but I didn't see it either.
So we continue here. We're in the second, 1:25 to go. Still 2-0. Wiebe holding his own against Lucas Slack of Brandon Valley.
He's going to get called here. He's got to start moving. You have your head on the mat like that. We got to get moving from down. Bud took a look, and I think Jaden saw that. But top guy isn't getting a whole lot done either.
No, there it is, as you said. Stalling warning for Jaden Wiebe. They're right in the middle, so plenty of room to work for both wrestlers. Here's Slack coming around the front side, trying to work Wiebe around. Weebe's got him by the left hamstring, trying to hang on for dear life. Loses his grip. Slack comes back around over the top. There's a pin for a Governor wrestler on the junior varsity mat. 25. Brock Mosier with the victory for Pierre.
Need to explode from down here. We need one. A short time. 15 seconds to go in the second period.
Just to even cut it close where you can. And so many people are pretty good at getting out of holds. That's why they take that down position when they have the choice. But that didn't happen here. And a full ride, so to speak, for Lucas Slack as he maintains that 2-0 lead. Now he will take the down as we'll begin the third period. See what here Wiebe can do. Not a heck of a lot. And Slack gets up on his feet. Now 3-0. He has that lead. And right now, if you're Jaden Wiebe, maybe just try to stay on your feet as long as you can.
Well, he's down by 2 scores, so he's got to take him down twice just to tie it up. So he needs to kind of get moving, you know. But when you're wrestling a kid that's a little bit better, taking a shot right on the edge of the mat, you know, where if you get in trouble, you can get out of bounds. Officials wouldn't want to hear me say that, but that's the reality.
Yeah. You could just ask an official, well, what would you do?
Yeah.
All right, there's another takedown here for Slack as he was about ready to let Wiebe loose, but Jaden comes right back at him. Slack will fight that off, so it's a 1-point escape instead of a 2-point reversal. 5-1. Brandon Valley with the lead. We're in the final minute, 55 seconds to go. There's another takedown for Slack. He leads by 6 now.
This is where it becomes damage control here a little bit. Jaden can't give up bonus points.
Well, and Wiebe, as Slack lets him loose to make it 7-2, now takes another shot, and another opportunity for another takedown. There it is. So you're talking about cutting him loose, and this is exactly what Slack is doing. He will push Wiebe up and out of bounds, and you said Weeby's wrestling somebody a little better, but he's also wrestling somebody a little bigger, and it looks right now like Jaden might be running out of gas. 23 seconds to go. 9-3, still a 6-point advantage, but one more takedown for Slack could make it a major decision.
Yeah, just get away from him here. I mean, you've given up a stall warning, but that's only one point.
Comes right back at him as Slack tries to come around. Now 6 seconds, and there it is. Boy, Slack was able to get out of it, so one final takedown will make it a major decision for Brandon Valley as they'll win the 170-pound bout 11-3. They'll take the lead back on the Wegner Auto scoreboard 14-12. The Lynx with a 2-point lead. Let's take a quick 30, and we're at 182. Next, this is Governor Wrestling.
Attention all sports fans, get ready to show off your Pierre Gov spirit. Hi, this is Amy Parsons with American Bank and Trust in Pierre. Contact me to get your Governor's Spirit card today. Every time you make a purchase with your custom green and white debit card, American Bank and Trust will donate money back to the Pierre School District. Spirit card funds have helped purchase items such as a climbing rock wall, transit bus passes, and wobble seats. American Bank and Trust, proud supporter of the Pierre Governors and member FDIC.
Back at Ringside Gym, we go to 182 pounds. On the JV mat, it was Brandon Valley getting a win by fall. But Gavin Stotts wrestles for the Governors at 14-4 on the season. Got a sudden victory overtime win over his Brookings opponent earlier. Hopefully has gotten well rested. Here he is wrestling against Dominic Tucker. 7-2. Tucker, a junior for Brandon Valley. And this is probably where we would see Damian Shunke if Shunke were healthy, but Tucker filling in quite nicely, winning 7 of 9 so far on the year. Again, updated score in the duel, Brandon Valley. Both teams have won 3 matches apiece in our first 6, but the Lynx have a win by fall and 2 major decisions. The Governors with 1 decision, a technical fall, and a major decision. It's 14-12, Brandon Valley. Here comes Tucker. Down on top of Gavin Stotts. Now a quick pin for the Governors on the JV mat this time. 2-0, Brandon Valley with Dominic Tucker leading Gavin Stotts. JV matches seem to be going about even, about half and half between Pierre and Brandon Valley. If I were to guess, the Lynx might have won 1 or 2 more so far. But they've got obviously some good action going on that mat too.
Yeah, this is a match for Gavin that he's got to win. If the team's going to have a shot to win tonight, he's got to win this match.
He's up and out, so 1-point escape here for Gavin.
There's just so little room for error. in these tight duels like this. So.
Oh, and Stotts gets bailed out here perhaps as the period comes to an end. The official's bat got tapped by the mat tapper just as Stotts was getting taken down again by Dominic Tucker. But no takedown is awarded, and we'll start the second period with Stotts in the up position, trailing just 2-1 instead of 4-1. JV matches, I guess they're all done now, so it's all varsity from here on out at Riggs High Gym. 1 point escape for the Brandon Valley wrestler. Tucker.
It's almost like we're not seeing the same, Gavin that we saw the first match. He's kind of waiting, sitting back, waiting to see what happens. Instead, we kind of need to turn it up here a little bit and get after him, push the pace.
How easy is it, or how difficult is it when you go sudden victory 6 minutes plus against Nolan Archer, and you have to turn around against an equally, if not maybe a more athletic opponent the second time, and he's wrestling his first one for Brandon Valley?
Actually, well, it's probably different for everyone, but when you can get one match under your belt, you always feel better the second match. At least I did.
Takedown here for Tucker, leading 5-1, and back points will be pending as well, so there's 3 more from Bud Postma. 8-1 now, and Tucker. And I feel like I've heard this name before, too. I think Tucker's been around, even though he wrestles maybe where a state champion like Damian Shunke would normally show up. And I'm just trying to think, if Damian Shunke's not there, where's Dominic Tucker? I mean, that's as good of a JV guy as you'd have. He could move up, but Luke Wickersham is off to a 13-4 start. Could cut weight, but Lucas Slack is 18-0. He could cut more weight, but Isaac Klinkhammer's undefeated. Another one down, and yet here's Tucker scoring a 10-2 lead right now on Gavin Stotts after another scoring opportunity. Second period comes to an end, and Stotts struggling a little bit here. Again, just an example of, I think Pierre has, been able to enjoy the lifestyle of a lot of depth in the wrestling room in years past. Brandon Valley has that now with guys like Dominic Tucker. Tucker let Stotts free just right away, and he wanted to work from his feet, and we can see why. He gets another double leg takedown here, 12-3 our score. He'll let him loose again. So again, Brandon Valley trying to be scoring aggressive. Major decision right now, but now Tucker probably thinking at least a technical fall here.
Yeah, he's broken Gavin to this point. It seems like the fight has left him, and he needs to find it here with 1 minute and 19 seconds to go.
Out of bounds here to save another would-be takedown. Now 1:17 to wrestle third period. Still 14-12 in the duel, 12-4 Brandon Valley at this 182-pound bout. We'll be halfway through our 14 weight classes. This is the 7th match of the night when this one comes to an end.
You can't let your opponent see. I mean, you tell a lot with body language. And Gavin right now is showing his opponent that he's ready to be done wrestling. So, again, he's got to find an extra gear here and get after it.
Breaking free again, stalling warning here to Stotts. Locked up, Stotts coming down to one knee, but back up on top, on his feet rather. 40 seconds still to go. Here comes Tucker again, and down goes Stotts, but they'll roll him back over. And Stotts did a good job in keeping that roll going and flipping him right back out of bounds to save a takedown there. Still on their feet. Major margin right now, and Stotts gets quickly taken down here. He tried to take the shot, half-hearted as it might have been, but Tucker comes right around and ends up on top, and there's 2 more. A 10-point lead in the match for Dominic Tucker. 14-4, Stotts is loose. 1 point, make it a 9-point match. One takedown would be huge for Gavin Stotts to get it back under 8 points, but 5 seconds and 4. This one's going to come to an end. 14-5, another major for Brandon Valley. They will lead the duel 18-12 as we take a 30-second break for halftime from CHS Midwest Cooperatives. We go to 195 next. This is Governor Wrestling.
The Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.
Welcome back to Rigside Gym. Brian Oakland with Ryan Noyes at side. Coach John Wayne Calda, who does other commentary for us at times during home wrestling duels, is with the middle schoolers in Watertown tonight, but he'll be with us along with Coach Noyes tomorrow for the East-West duels. It'll start at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. In fact, we'll be on the air on River 92.7 at 9:30, bright and early. 4 duels tomorrow. We'll be on the air all the way through till about 6 p.m. expected tomorrow. 195 brings Jacob Larson to the mat for the Governors. He is 11-4 on the season. He takes on Luke Wickersham, who is 13-4. So far, nothing doing here. Minute plus gone by. Both still on their feet. And I think even on paper, not just record-wise, but on paper, this looks already like a match that could go the distance and all the way down to the wire.
Yeah, Jacob's got to get something going here right away. Usually, they talk about the percentages of wins coming from the first takedown. And this would be one of those situations where a lot of confidence is going to come from that first takedown.
Larson was pinned by Luke Rasmussen in the Brookings duel. Rasmussen, of course, one of the top wrestlers in the state in that weight class. But here Wickersham. And I don't believe as Larson
needs to go to the head.
Takes that roll, he gets up there, so Jacob Larson will draw first blood, 2-0 with the takedown. Good move for Jake.
Yeah, nice little fireman's and ended up finishing.
But now as Wickersham tried to get out of it, Larson hangs on and keeps him at bay, so no escape scored. And it's a 2-0 lead for Larson, who will go to the second period. Now, Wickersham is senior, but I got to be honest, I don't recognize that name from what we've seen in the last couple of years. But yet here he is, 13-4. Good start to the season.
Yeah, I didn't recognize that name either. There's a few, and a lot of the problem too. I think I'm just not tying it to Brandon Valley. So, like the Slack, that sounds like a Harrisburg name, but I'm not sure if that's a Harrisburg transfer, or if they've got that name in Brandon Valley's program as well.
3-0 our score that after a Jacob Larson escape. He gets 1 point to start the second period. So Jacob off to a good start here. And the Governors, after surrendering the last 3 weight classes, obviously will be. Pierre always likes what they've got in their last 2 weight classes, but boy, Brandon Valley just going to be every bit as good on this night as well, we expect. Jacob Larson still trying to add to a 3-0 lead here as the first minute comes to a close in this second period. Halfway through, he tried another fireman's, it looked like. That worked for him the first time, not this time. That one slips, and it's Wickersham who gets the takedown instead. So 3-2, although Jacob Larson trying to get the turnabout here. Well, they'll break free. Boy, that was a good effort there. Almost a reversal, but it's a 1-point escape instead. 30 to go. Brandon Valley leading the duel 18-12. Larson backing off a bit. Wickersham coming after him. Now Jacob Larson will spin around and get the takedown. Larson leads 6-2 now. 10 seconds. Can he get him rolled over? He's got something working here. Jacob Larson. And he got it. 5 seconds left in the second. A big win by fall for Jacob Larson. A time of 3:55. The Governors will tack on 6, and this duel is tied 18-18 on the Wagner Auto scoreboard. We've got a 2:20 bout coming up in 30 seconds. This is Governor Wrestling.
The best Western...
Rosenberg Implement, your family-owned John Deere dealer, has a deal for you this week only. Save 8% off bulk fluid storage products at Rosenberg Implement with 8 locations in South Dakota, Nebraska, and Wyoming. Call the parts department for options that will fit your operations. Don't forget they have on-farm delivery for oil, antifreeze, and any other part you may need. This deal is only at Rosenberg Implement, servicing your growing needs since 1937.
Rickside Gym is where we're at. ESD Wrestling at its finest. The Pierre Governors taking on the Brandon Valley Lynx. 8 matches in, we're tied 18-18, and at 220 pounds, it's Reagan Bolweg, undefeated on the year at 11-0, taking on Owen Warren of the Lynx. The junior is 18-2. Coming in. Both going after each other. They've been out of bounds a couple of times. We are 30 seconds into this one. These two have had some battles the last couple of years. Bolweg gets one leg, spun around by Warren. Reagan still got him and gets the takedown here.
That was a big first takedown.
And an early one, too. These guys get together. You don't see a lot of scoring usually in the first period. They wrestled to 3-1, 3-2 type matches, you know, and again, the last couple of years, as Owen Warren, a lot of people aware, came from the Yankton Bucks to join that Brandon Valley program. And Warren was a state champion for Yankton 2 years ago at 170 pounds, but last year I think he had the upper hand against Reagan Bolweg early, but Bolweg later in the season just continued to win those 3-2 type matches. And
Reagan looking to tie up some hands here a little bit, keep the pressure on, keep Warren on his stomach.
Because you really, and Reagan knows, it's going to be difficult to score on this guy. I mean,
yeah,
it seems like this is about the 8th time that these two have wrestled now in the last couple of years, and they've already met at least once this year. Reagan's got a 3-1 victory over Warren, one of 2 losses. First period will come to an end on the edge of the mat, and we'll go to the second period.
That was a great first period for Reagan. His choice, he's choosing down. He can get a quick escape here, a reversal. He'll be in really good shape.
Your wrestler will take off.
You know, I use the term a two-score lead, and that's what Reagan's got now, 3-0 as he gets out of it. I never really thought of that. I use that a lot in basketball or football, but in wrestling, as you mentioned that earlier, certainly in a match like this that you expect to go down to the wire and be tight all the way, 2-score advantage for Bolweg now is big, nice. Even though it's still early. And now he
got it.
Hangs on, so boy, he just had one ankle of Owen Warren and able to push him off to the side, and as Warren was trying to get out of bounds, Bolweg hangs on, stays in bounds with the toes, and now Bolweg with a 5-0 lead. This is something that you really just aren't used to seeing.
And I think he just broke him right there. It took a lot of the fight out of him. Not that I expect Warren to sit and lay down the rest of the match, but that, looking up at the scoreboard, seeing a 5-0 lead that's pretty deflating.
And again, as often as these two guys have met in the last couple of years, nobody's led by 5 points in any of those matches. Here's
right.
Bolweg running him out.
Yeah.
And he maintains control, so no escape going to be given here.
This could get a little bit chippy.
I would imagine Warren now, I don't know, I wasn't watching all that closely, but would he have been expecting at least a 1-pointer there on an escape? As maybe he thought he might have gotten free. If he doesn't get that, I'm sure maybe a little more frustration could set in.
Yeah, you've got to earn the 1 point. They're not going to give it to you if you don't earn it. And Reagan did a nice job of holding on to him. And, I mean, Warren's momentum was taking him out of bounds, and Reagan was going to help him get there.
Yeah, okay. And I guess to look at it this way, I mean, simply running out of bounds isn't earning 1 point. Here's Bolweg trying to deke him a little bit, taking his arms away, and Warren again trying to.
Pretty important here to stay focused and stay all about business. We can't play into the crowd. You don't want to do anything to put yourself in trouble. You got to stay focused in this match because it could turn in a hurry.
Warren staying face down again, and each time he comes back in that down position, he just hasn't had much of a quick first move, which a lot of guys will have to to be able to sit up and get out of those down positions. Still 5-0 here. Warren up on his feet again. Bolweg tried to get him back down there, but out of bounds they'll go again.
9 seconds left in the second period.
And that wasn't a takedown. It wasn't going to be a takedown, but it was still a hard return to the mat. And it's another thing I think that can play into what you're talking about, and the frustration that Owen Warren might be feeling here.
Earlier I talked about Reagan and the competitor that he is, the athlete that he is. Now it's to the point where he's not interested in just winning the match. He wants to let him know that I'm not even going to give you a point.
Yeah.
Warren chose both up here. He knew that didn't look good for getting out, so he thinks his best shot is to get a takedown from the feet.
5-0. Reagan Bolweg in the lead here. 220 pounds. We've got 285 and then 4 lower classes to roll through the lineup as well, so 5 more to go after this one. 18-18, we're tied in the duel. Bolweg still leading 5-0, again out of bounds. Bolweg got a quick start here, right on that whistle, but Warren was ready for that advance. So they'll lock up again.
This is a situation, too, where, just get the win, first of all. You've got 3 more points if you can get 3 for a major, but the biggest thing in this situation is just get a win, because this is one of those matches where, it could probably go either way, even though Reagan has looked dominating in this match.
Tried low, has come up high again. Warren doing a little more pushing now. I think Warren is starting to feel the urgency that maybe he wasn't feeling in that second period. 1:05 to go, third period. A little more pushing going on. Reagan tries to get a throw, but well out of bounds.
Warren frustrated right now.
Yeah, then he has to pick himself off the mat once again. And again, another hard return to the mat. I think both wrestlers might have felt that one a little bit, though.
You're down by 5 points, and you're not showing much effort here for a takedown. He realizes the match is over, but there again, with 40 seconds left, you can't let up.
Bolweg tries to reach, back up, and stalling on Bolweg. I guess in a way, the crowd getting frustrated on that, and maybe it's okay that Reagan's backing off a little bit, but I'm not so sure I saw it that way. How'd you think about that?
Well, he's there. He caught him.
On Warren.
Yeah, and Warren's just simply trying to push him out of bounds so that he can,
Coach Outland wants a little discussion here with Bud Postman. I like the way you're looking at that, though.
Yeah, this isn't going to go well for Yankton's coach. When you question an official on a judgment, that's how you get the unsportsmanlike in a hurry. So this was just a situation where Bud felt that the kid was just pushing him out of bounds. He wasn't attempting any shots. He was just trying to get him out of bounds.
And Coach Outland thinking probably, if we're coming at the guy, aren't we being the aggressor? And why is Bolweg backing off? Well, maybe that's not necessarily the case, and that's certainly not how Bud was seeing it. So we get going again. 25 seconds, counting down. Reagan Bolweg still leading 5-0. Bolweg Coming low, Warren.
Yeah, careful here.
Had an opportunity, but
And he's getting back
gets
points.
it. He gets a takedown.
He can pin him right
He's
here.
getting seconds here, too.
He could pin him. And he did.
Reagan Boyd.
Attaboy.
6 seconds to go in 5:54. They win by fall, and the Governors take the lead back in the duel. Tack on 6. It's Pierre 24. Brandon Valley 18. Score on the Wagner Auto scoreboard brought to you by Wagner Auto in Pierre. The one place to go.
Did I mention he was a competitor?
So, Pierre crowd obviously coming to life. They've got the lead now, 5-4 in terms of number of matches won, but here at 285, the Governors have an outstanding 285, but Brandon Valley has, I don't know what the next adjective up is, but Navarro Shunke is every bit as good as advertised, and he's got the takedown here on Preston Taylor, looking to get him rolled over. Coach Noyes, I look at Navarro Shunke, a state champion at 220 as an 8th grader, and you think, how can a guy this young, not named Nash Hutmaker, be this good?
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, but maybe Navarro Shunke is that kind of a guy. Maybe in 4 years we'll be putting him in that kind of a class.
Right.
Shunke heading out the opposite direction here.
A lot of these kids, too, specialize. You know, that's the one thing with Pierre. Our kids are multi-sport athletes, and, you know, a lot of these kids are wrestling 365 days a year.
Taylor tried to sit up. Shunke brings him right back. Pulled him right back, even. And Shunke's just working up high, but a lot of upper body here.
Yeah.
Just a
cannot afford to get pinned here.
Taylor in trouble now. And there it is. Boy, Navarro Shunke, 1:05. And, Coach, that was just a simple half Nelson, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how strong Navarro Shunke is. So the 6 that Bullweg got, Navarro Shunke gets him right back. We're tied again, 24-24. Let's take a quick, let's keep it here. 106 pounds coming up. Couple of 7th graders. Lincoln Schoenhardt for the Governors. 3-6 on the season. He'll take on Xander Nielsen, who's off to a great start, winning 14 of his first 17 matches. And Nielsen goes right to work on Schoenhardt with a quick takedown here. Quick 2-point lead for Nielsen. So 4 matches to go. And on paper, I think you got to give Brandon Valley the nod in 3 of them. But wrestling matches aren't fought on paper. We'll see what happens. Schoenhardt let loose. Gets a 1-point escape, 2-1 our score. Again, 24-24 in the duel. Another takedown here for Xander Nielsen. And he tried to get that cradle. He slipped right out of it. Now you look at a 7th grader who is performing as well as he is so far in Xander Nielsen, and boy, you get somebody, here's a stalemate, but you get somebody out of a middle school program and is just ripe and ready for varsity action, and what a special gift that can be for Brandon Valley here. Injury timeout is it is Lincoln Schoenhardt shaken up a little bit.
Yeah, you talk about a 7th grader coming in and ready. That's almost unheard of. A lot of times 7th graders are coming in and they're paying their dues. You know, they win 5, 6, 7 matches on the year. You know, for him to be 14-3 at this point in the season is saying a lot for this young man.
And for Lincoln Schoenhardt, who as a 7th grader has kind of been given the opportunity with an older wrestler just unable to make weight. Right. And so Schoenhardt, one of those types that'll learn as he goes. Trailing 4-2. A couple of escapes here for Lincoln Schoenhardt, but again, off of this injury timeout. Nielsen takes another shot. Schoenhardt trying to fight that off, and now This is a throwdown here for Xander Nielsen, and Lincoln Schoenhardt is on his back. Seconds have already been counted. 2 back points for Xander Nielsen to go with a 2-point takedown. He leads 8-2, now 8-3 as he will let Lincoln up again. 5-point lead for Brandon Valley in this match. Another single leg attempt here for Nielsen. And Nielsen again. Nielsen's got quickness for starters, but he brings that technique as well. 2-point takedown to close out the first period. Boy, that's a high-scoring first period for Xander Nielsen. He does have blood coming from the nose. He lost the nose plug. They'll have to plug him up again. Our second period, the beginning of which will be a little bit delayed. And then you get this 7th grader coming into an already deep lineup, and he fits right in.
Yeah.
And all these years that Governor fans saw Pierre scoring big points in the lower weight classes with guys like Turman and Lusk and Keys and
Spencer Saringer.
Saringer when he was small, Austin Singer. I mean, Brandon Valley's going to win a lot of tournaments because they're getting started early with a lot of bonus points from a kid like Xander Nielsen, and you've got a couple of Omi brothers coming up in a little bit too.
Well, and that's a situation too where how do you not get better? You've got a twin, then he's equally as good as you are.
So it's the best wrestling partner you can have.
Yeah.
My brother and I, twins, we didn't wrestle competitively, but we wrestled in the basement a lot.
Should have.
We wrestled unofficiated.
Sometimes that's the best wrestling right there.
I think I perfected the thumb and the eyeball move once. At any rate, 12-3 after another takedown here. They have Trey Lewis on the board, having defeated Gavin Chapman 5-4. We didn't expect Chapman. Actually, it was Langenhorst, I know, that was announced. At any rate, back to this one here. 106, the 11th of 14 weight classes being wrestled here in this Pierre and Brandon Valley duel. Nielsen, he'll let Schoenhardt up for the 4th time. 12-4 now. That's a major decision margin. 45 seconds to go. It's still just the second period, though.
We just got to find some confidence, and again, it's easier said than done. When you're out there by yourself, and the more experience Lincoln has, the sooner that confidence will come.
Another takedown here. Schoenhardt was on his back for a few seconds. Back points may be pending, but now he's on his back again. And there's a win by fall. Boy, Brandon Valley ends up with a win here in a time of 3 minutes and 44 seconds. It's 30-24 Lynx. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Governor Wrestling.
Don't be fooled by all this talk of supplier pricing or employee pricing or whatever pricing you hear. Harry K. Ford sells for INVOICE every day. It doesn't come and go. It's here to stay. Harry K. Ford, your only dealer who puts our community first.
Federally insured by NCUA.
Back at Riggs High Gym, Brandon Valley with the victory leads the Governors 30-24. Score on the Wagner Auto scoreboard from Wagner Auto in Pierre, the one place to go. Noah Williams on the mat for Pierre now, up to 113 pounds. Sam Davis, a freshman for Brandon Valley, his opponent. Davis 10-9 on the season. Williams now 15-4. But Davis, the aggressor early on. Williams trying to stay hopping, so to speak, as Davis has him by that right middle leg. And stalemate here, so Williams did a good job of fighting something off. Early on, Davis went right at it.
He really did. He's definitely coming out. It just looks like Brandon Valley's got, another gear right now. And I don't know if Pierre kind of feels like the life has been sucked out of him a little bit with a couple of those pins. But now's the time to, we've still got 3 matches left, and we're still very much in this duel. The bench needs to get these guys fired up a little bit.
No score yet here. Minute and a half gone by. 30 seconds to wrestle first period. And Williams is one of the guys that can maybe put a charge into it here. I think record-wise, you're looking at Noah Williams should have the advantage in this one, but Davis, another one of those youngsters like Xander Nielsen, who probably has a good future ahead of him down there in Brandon. And nothing happening here. Boy, they stayed locked up.
Yeah.
Shoulder on shoulder. And the choice will go to Pierre here after a deferment by Davis to start the second period. 0-0. First time we've had a scoreless first period, I believe. Williams quickly out in a 1-point escape. He'll score first. 1-0 here in the duel, or in the match.
A quick takedown would be a good response from that escape, and he's in on a shot here if he can just finish.
A good way to maybe assert yourself and again get that 2-score advantage, so to speak. Here's Davis trying to fight it off. He's up on his feet, but Williams trying to keep him up there. Oh, Noah's got an opportunity to throw him down, and he's on his back.
Pin.
And right there, well done, Noah Williams, as we are tied once again. The time in this one, 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
I love seeing a good whip. That's a move that's been around Pierre for a long time, and it's kind of come and gone a few times, but every now and again you see one of those kids bring it back, and it's just so effective.
Feet to back. You take a guy right off his feet, and instead of just a regular takedown, you get him on his back, and he really doesn't have time to think his way out of that.
Yeah, it's tight. That was an excellent job.
So 6-pointer for the Governors on that match, and we are tied once again, 30-30.
And this is one of those situations where Tristan's wrestling a very, very talented wrestler. This is the conversation I'm having. Keep it as tight as you can. Be stingy giving up points. You stay in this match as long as you can.
Tristan Spencer, who got elevated to the 120-pound weight class here for the Governors. Spencer 10-2 on this season. He got a 9-2 record through some tournaments so far this season and performing very well. And as we understand, got a win in the wrestling room over Nate Williams, who'd been doing a nice job himself through much of the season. Nate 15-4 on the season. But Tristan, the freshman, getting an opportunity to really do something nice for the Governors here. But his opponent, by the way, Jordan Omi, 11-2 on the season for Brandon Valley.
The nice thing here for Tristan is there's absolutely no pressure. He's not expected to win this match, but if he can, once again, if we can keep it close to where you've got a shot in the end, that's all you can hope for.
Well, with one match to go, too, and a guy like Blake Judson, who obviously against Trace and Omi, it's not going to be easy, but I think Blake, there's always that possibility that Blake could make something happen in that last match. So
absolutely, he's exactly the guy I want finishing the duel. Blake's had a great year, and I expect him to wrestle really well in this next match.
Still neutral here. Omi getting an opportunity to spin around, and he puts him down hard, and they're out of bounds. So Spencer bounces right back up, but Jordan Omi this time ran out of real estate.
Again, just be patient. You've got 4 minutes left of this match to,
Well, and Spencer, anticipate this one to. If he stays around in it, you're going to be going the distance, and,
right.
And I guess without stalling, you got to save your energy as much as you can.
Right. There's going to be a burst at the end. You can about guarantee it.
Scoreless through the first period, though. Good job for Spencer to stay on his feet. Jordan Omi in the up position, it was Tristan's choice to go to the down, and now he'll break free. Tristan Spencer has the first point of this match.
Yeah. This is where he needs to be very calculated. He's got the lead. He doesn't have to force anything right now.
So Spencer, for the people who follow the varsities, maybe not so much the JVs, what kind of wrestler is Tristan Spencer? I mean, obviously he's really been coming on this year.
Yeah, he's a very good wrestler. He's one of those kids that's had a ton of success. Youth wrestling, middle school program, but getting your feet wet on the varsity level is a completely different ball game, so to speak.
One thing we haven't been talking a lot about tonight is dual seedings for what would potentially be the state dual tournament. Brandon Valley actually the 2 overall seed behind Rapid City Stevens coming into tonight. Pierre is down at number 6. We got Stevens at 1, Brandon Valley 2, Watertown at 3, Harrisburg 4. Harrisburg will be here tomorrow. Then Mitchell and Pierre, T-Area, and Madison rounding out the top 8 as Jordan Omi tries to get spun around here to get a takedown, and there it is. He'll take the lead with 43 seconds to go, second period. 2-1. The Brandon Valley wrestler in front.
Super important to get an escape here and head into that third period tied up.
Governor Wrestling here at 120 pounds. We're driven by the Office of Highway Safety of the state of South Dakota, who says, don't text and drive, stay alive. It's Governor Wrestling on your official voice of the governors, the stations of DRG Media Group, including 1060 AM, 107.1 FM, KGFX, Pierre, a member of the Dakota Radio Group. Live video stream through the KGFX page of drgnews.com. And you can also get the live stream on the all-new DRG News app. Downloadable from the Apple Store or from Google Play. Sponsored by Golden Buffalo. Second period is done. Jordan Omi leading Tristan Spencer 2-1. The duel is tied 30-30 with this match plus one more to go. And Omi trying to get out of the hold of Spencer. Good job by Tristan to stay with him. And no escape earned yet.
I haven't watched Tristan a lot, but what I have heard is that he is pretty decent on top, so it would be, man, that'd be great to catch him on his back here.
And just looking down from where we are up here, he looks like another one of those long, lanky Hayden Schaefer type,
right?
Smaller weight class wrestlers, which we've talked about the height advantage of a wrestler that a wrestler can have.
He's a bull rider. Those guys are kind of leeches. Obviously strong, so.
Keeping his leg wrapped up high, though, as they get up top, and back to the mat they'll go. Spencer still doing a pretty good job here. Omi grabs through the legs and gets to the back of that one leg, but now switching to the other as he tries to get out of the hold. Time down to 105.
Got to be careful there. He did a nice job. He was in a situation where he was about to get Granby rolled, but he recognized it and was able to clear his arms.
Now with a minute to go, third period. It's a 2-1 match. Jordan Omi, only 2 losses on the season. Tristan Spencer, only 2 losses on the season as well. So we get to about the halfway point of this makeshift COVID season that we're going through. Stalemate, and we'll come back to the middle. Chance for both wrestlers to regroup a bit. 35 seconds to go, and Tristan Spencer will come back neutral. He gives that 1 point escape away, knows that he's got to do something to get after him. Here he comes, and now Pierre fans may want to stalling. Only backing off a bit. They'll get to the edge, and they're out of bounds. So back again they go.
Go, Tristan.
Pierre fans really getting into this one below us here. Spencer, 12 seconds. Just needs a takedown to force something else, maybe a little extra time here, but Jordan Omi fighting him off. And that'll do it. 3-1, the win to Brandon Valley in this one for 3 points. They'll take a 33-30 lead in the duel And we've got one match to go in 30 seconds. Coming back, you're listening to Pierre Governor Wrestling.
Beck Motor Company is proud to...
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
Back at Riggs High Gym with one match to go in a 33-30 duel. Folks, this is why we love wrestling. Good wrestlers to decide the duel in the final match. Blake Judson, the junior for the Governors, 14-1, taking on Trayson Omi, the sophomore, undefeated 10-0 for the Brandon Valley Lynx. Judson's only loss so far this season has been to Trayson Omi. And that was in Sioux Falls in that dual tournament at Washington, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Pierre and Brandon Valley dueled each other. Brandon Valley won that one 33-25. Trayson Omi won that match 4-2. Or was it a one-point match?
Yeah, 1 or 2 point match. Did you see where Blake had his elbow up high right here?
No.
He's got to get his elbow down. He was out of position there.
Nice
shot.
Gets low, taking a shot here. Judson trying to get Omi to the mat.
Don't go. Don't go. There's 2.
And Judson gets him down.
No, other way.
Greg happened to look up, and I saw Judson in front of me, but
Omi had a side headlock and hooked a leg, and once you go to the mat and they post on the mat, that's 2 for Omi.
So the 2-0 start to the Brandon Valley wrestler. You know, a lot of times, this is the neat thing about drawing for starting weight class is now some other people get an opportunity to maybe be that deciding match in the end, and instead of just the big boys all the time.
Right. And like I said before, Blake's the guy you want to be here. He's just in this situation, he's got a tall task, but if anyone can do it, he can.
Brandon Valley leading the duel 33-30. Omi, obviously the favored wrestler in this case, having not lost this season, and he went to the finals a year ago at 106 pounds. He'll defer.
It's so important in that first period. If you do get taken down, you have to get an escape. If you go into the second period down 2-0, you know, you go from a situation where an escape here ties it to now you're still being down by 1.
So, Judson in that down position, got to his feet, but he put right back to the mat. Trayson Omi in the finals last year went 39-2, only 2 losses, but he did lose to Quincy Halverson of T area in that state championship match. There's another program, T area, starting to make some noise. They're in the top 8, if I remember, if I was talking about in the duels. Yeah, there they are, the current 7 seed. They've already had 24 duels on their season so far. Now Judson, now Omi will let him free. Kind of delayed it, trying to see if he would do something that Trayson could get him back on the mat, but Judson is loose now, 2-1. Omi still in the lead with just outside of a minute to go here, second period.
There's his elbow up high.
Just makes it a little vulnerable position. Now, even so, what I saw there is if Blake Judson can still keep some kind of momentum going forward, maybe he can get Trayson Omi rolled, but it just seemed like that's just asking a lot.
That's just one of those rule of thumbs. You don't ever want your elbow pointed up in the...
Quick move here for Omi. He'll spin around and get behind Judson. Now down for 2. 4-1. Brandon Valley leading this match. Pierre has won 6 matches. Brandon Valley has won 7. Governors had that close loss to Watertown a couple of weeks ago when they lost 8 of 14 matches, but only lost the duel by 1 point. They had the bonus points, but they lost 4 decisions that night. And that loss to Watertown has made this duel for the Governors that much more important against Brandon Valley, but it looks like Brandon Valley, with 2 minutes to go in this match, has themselves in the driver's seat now. It's 4-1 here. Judson going to try to get aggressive, going to try to get real active now.
There's a nice little pass
through,
by.
But couldn't get around behind him.
Omi's just so quick, you know, and he does not make mistakes very often. And, you know, another wrestler that's talented from every position. So he's hard to score on.
Sometimes it's hard to see maybe what I would call brute strength in the lower weight classes, but when you have that quickness and you've got good technique and you know, you're pretty good between the ears as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to be the strongest guy out there.
Yeah, heavy hands, you know, heavy, fast hands. Just a quick setup, you know, a tug on the arm, so to speak. You react, and then you find that you're being picked up in a double leg.
1 minute to go, third period. 4-1, Omi still leading Blake Judson. Looked like Blake came back to the middle after that play stoppage and just kind of like looking up, and, you know, I think every wrestler gets in that situation, but sometimes, especially now when you're trying anything and everything, you just kind of wondering what does it take to get this guy down?
Right.
What else can I do? Breaking free again, and that even allows a few more seconds to tick away against Blake Judson. Trailing 4-1, we're under 30 seconds now, approaching the 20-second mark of this third period. Now Omi's got a hold of the leg, and he's just going to hang on and probably do as much of nothing as he can. Well, now he gets Judson rolled over a bit. No control for either wrestler. Not really going to matter at this point. 5 seconds left, and Brandon Valley going to win the duel as Grayson Omi will defeat Blake Judson by the score of 4-1. And the final score in the duel, Brandon Valley on the Wagner-Auto scoreboard defeats the Pierre Governors by the score of 36-30. Wagner-Auto of Pierre is the one place to go, as we will take a 2-minute timeout. In fact, let's make it a 3-minute break. We've got plenty to talk about in the postgame. Full recap of each of our matches. We'll have a conversation with Coach Sean Lewis. We'll have more with Coach Ryan Noyes coming up as well in the postgame, and another Bauman Lumber player of the game to announce as well as we get into the postgame in 3 minutes. You're listening to Pierre Governor Wrestling, your official voice of the Governors, KGFX and DRGnews.com.
Service Master of Pierre is your go-to service experts for a wide variety of cleaning needs. Since 2003, we have developed the most effective methods and products to service virtually every type of industry. We're known for our exceptional carpet and upholstery cleaning, but did you know we also offer cleaning of all types of flooring, along with providing fire and water restoration, commercial cleaning, janitorial services, and construction cleanup. Service Master of Pierre is a proud sponsor of TF Riggs Governors and Lady Govs, as well as Stanley County Buffaloes and Lady Buffs activities.
Hi, this is Randy Schumacher with Capital City Monuments. Due to the virus issue, staying at home is a good thing. I can answer any questions by phone and do designs with you through email for a loved one. It is an honor for me to work with families and their memorial needs. Please call Capital City Monuments at 220-0417. Thank you.
If you're hunting for a great deal on your next ride, get into Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre. We're locked and loaded on all of our new and used inventory, like this 2018 Toyota Highlander, only $28,495. Looking for low price reliability? Try a 2011 Honda Accord for only $6,995. Who wants a loaded up truck? We have a 2014 Chevy Silverado 1500 LTZ for only $17,995. Get to Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre, 518 East Sioux Avenue. Call 605-224-7378 and visit gatewayflt.com.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
At Jan Bussey Ford in Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford in Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
Peace of mind for you. Most soldiers serve because they want to give back to their country. Then they find out that being part of the South Dakota Army National Guard comes with other rewards. Beyond earning additional pay and getting help with education costs, South Dakota soldiers and their families will enjoy even more real benefits, such as inexpensive health care through the TRICARE system and low-cost life insurance that pays up to $400,000. Take care of your health, your family, and your future. For more information, go to nationalguard.com/tools/life insurance or 1-800-GO Guard. Peace
Buffalo
of mind
Casino.
for you.
Download it now at the App Store or Google Play.
Back at Riggs High Gym, Brian Oakland along with Coach Ryan Noyes, as well as the Governors get a dual victory earlier this evening over the Brookings Bobcats, 66-12. They won 12 of 14 weight classes in that one, including 4 forfeits. But against Brandon Valley, the second-ranked team in the state, Brandon Valley comes in here and defeats the Governors for the second time this season, but this one a little bit closer, 36-30. A lot of good wrestling as Brandon Valley will win 8 weight classes. The Governors get 6, both teams with 3 wins by fall. But the Lynx get a couple of tight decisions in the last 2 weight classes to break a 30-30 tie and win this one by 6. And, Coach Noyes, it's I think, I'm not going to say anybody's going to be surprised with how this duel went. I think 36-30 is a very good effort on the part of the Governors. It's a very good effort on the part of the Lynx, and you just no surprises. But if you compare the first duel between these two, assuming everybody was fully staffed, and to the second one, the Governors maybe you'd like to say closing the gap a little bit.
Yeah, I think they did. I know Coach Lewis won't feel good about this. He'll be dissecting the results, and if we'd have done this instead of this, but that's how this sport goes. And this was just one of those nights where Brandon Valley was a little bit better than us, and but I think you got to look at some individual performances and say, wow, we really made some gains too.
Yeah, and we'll be talking about some of those when we look at player of the game. But he gets started early on, and again, it is all about bonus points. Sometimes you got to wrestle defensively, and I think in a lot of cases where you want to wrestle defensively, maybe that didn't go. That's one of the things that didn't go quite as well as the Governors would have hoped.
Right. And a lot of times, too, you got to just have those conversations with kids and let them know. I mean, it's great to pump them up and think that they've got a shot, but you also have to be realistic and say, there isn't anyone in this gym that thinks you're supposed to win tonight against an undefeated wrestler. So do what you can to frustrate, do what you can to slow the match down, and try to be in a situation where you can win the match at the end of the match.
But some guys did take care of business, and some guys maybe even more so. I mean, you get a major point of excitement, I guess, for a couple of pins in the upper weight classes. Jacob Larson looked real good in that match Of course, Reagan Bollweg with the pin of Owen Warren. People may expect the victory for Bollweg in that, but not by fall. The way those two have gone at it the last couple of years. He did get a pin for Noah Williams, and at the time, these guys are coming up big when the duel was still very much in doubt.
Right, and I think Larson's pin really got the crowd excited, really got the Govs back into this duel, and then what Reagan did, nobody expected. And at one point in the match, it was one of those situations where Reagan was no longer looking for the win. He was ready to put an exclamation point on the match.
Well, and what's it like for Bollweg? Maybe he didn't even expect to get a pin over Owen Warren, but when Jacob Larson comes up with that big win right in front of him, I'll bet that kind of pumped Bollweg up even more.
Yeah, absolutely. And you like to see those guys in front of you get wins. It takes a little bit of pressure off you. But again, it comes down, in my mind, to Reagan is just an athlete. He's a competitor. He wants to win. He wants to do it in convincing fashion, and that's what he did tonight.
Some good wins in the middle, too. Hayden Schaefer, a major decision after Brandon Valley won the first match by major. Hayden comes right back, gets a good 11-0 win. Trey Lewis gets a 5-4 win in one of those 50-50 matches. Could have gone either way, but Lewis comes up with a victory. Deegan Huska, his technical fall win tonight, even though we thought he was Tyson Johnson the whole time, but Deegan looked real good once again, and just, even though it's not against maybe pound for pound the best wrestlers that Brandon Valley had, still a win over Brandon Valley this season is kind of a big deal for anybody.
It is, yeah, and you got to take whether you won or lost tonight. You got to look at your match. You got to figure out where you had success and where you gave up points, and that becomes what you work on the next week in practice.
All right, so there will be more duels coming up. We'll talk about that in a bit. Of course, 4 big ones coming up tomorrow. But here's how it all happened tonight as we begin this one with the 132-pound weight class, and that had Alex Mincer of Brandon Valley defeating Kaylor Heineman 12-2 for a major decision win, getting Brandon Valley off to a 4-0 start. Hayden Schaefer countered a major decision of his own, 11-0 over Tegan Harstad, made it 4-4. Trey Lewis with the second win in a row then for the Governors, 5-4 over Caden Langenhorst, 7-4 comes the score. The Governors lead. They'll win their third in a row with Deegan Huska in that 15-0 technical fall as he defeats Grayson Bortenham. 12-4 the score as the Govs win 3 in a row, but Brandon Valley comes right back with 3 in a row of their own. Starting at 160 pounds, Isaac Klinkhammer in a minute and a half, pinning Tyson Johnson, who the Governors moved up. That makes it 12-10. Governors still by 2. Jaden Wiebe losing to Lucas Slack, 11-3 by major. It was 14-12, and then another major decision win for Dominic Tucker over Gavin Stotts, 14-5 to make it 18-12 Brandon Valley. But then back-to-back pins for the Governors, for Jacob Larson over Luke Wickersham, for Reagan Bollweg over Owen Warren. Then the Governors turn a 12-18 deficit to a 24-18 lead. But then coming back, Navarro Shunke, the returning state champion, he gets a pin in a minute 5 over Preston Taylor to notch this one back up at 24 apiece. Brandon Valley with the win back at 106 then. By fall makes it 30-24, but Noah Williams comes back with a pin of Sam Davis for the Governors. It was tied at 30-30, but back-to-back decisions for Jordan Omi and for Trayson Omi for Brandon Valley over Tristan Spencer and Blake Judson give the Lynx the win at 36-30. Coach Sean Lewis up to talk to us about this one now. And let's not lose sight of that first duel. Good win over Brandon Valley, 66-12. You win 8 matches out of 10 that were actually wrestled, and guys came out, did what they needed to do. And I know a lot of focus was coming up on the Brandon Valley match, but I don't think anybody was looking past their opponents in that Brookings match.
Yeah, we did some good things in that Brookings duel. Like you said, you say you're not looking past, but you're looking past. You were completely ready. Nature. Absolutely. Yeah. For the heavyweight fight that was about to happen, and that was what it was. So it was nice that we kind of, I kind of liked that duel before, so we get a little bit of more realistic warm up, a better warm up. You get some actual, live wrestling versus some guys who are going to fight you in all positions, and like you said, we won a majority of those and came out and, took care of their inexperienced and, where they were good, we knew where they were good. So, ultimately the the Brookings duel just kind of was what it was. So.
And, I even asked Coach Noyes. He kind of said the same thing. I figured, well, how difficult is it for wrestlers to come out, after having spent a lot of energy in one match already against a fresh and untested so far tonight Brandon Valley bunch. And Noyes said that first match is always a lot of times a good thing for some wrestlers who get their second match against somebody who's wrestling their first.
Absolutely. I remember back when I wrestled, my second match was always way better than the first. The first, for whatever reason, you just don't get as good of a warm-up as, you think you do, but then when you get out there, you're like, I don't know if I really got as warmed up as I should. And then from there, things just kind of take over in your head, and you get after it. So I definitely think that our second matches, were way better than the first.
All right, so the Brandon Valley duel, you lose that first one, but we had lead changes in this one. We had exciting pins. We had had some heartbreak in there as well. But even though you didn't get the win, this felt like a good old-fashioned ESD duel again.
Absolutely. It was fun. Like I said, it's two heavyweight teams. Going at it, and when you end it, 30-36, pretty much it's a race to 33, and we both had a shot at getting to 33 there at the end. And when you can get any kind of duel to come down to the last match in the atmosphere that it brings, the only kind of disappointing part is all this COVID stuff, because this gym could have been absolutely rockin' packed. For the night. And I'm not saying it wasn't, but we were at max capacity for where we could be at, and just without all those external factors going on, this atmosphere could have been one for the books.
Yeah, someday we'll be back at that. But and the thing about it, 36-30, that is still that's a one match difference right there. And a lot of things maybe could have gone a different way, even if you. Like Coach Noyes made the point about, a decision here and there, and maybe you got a 33-33 instead of a 36-30. So it's that close. Maybe that's how you'd like to look at it, is if Brandon Valley has, maybe a step up on the Governors right now, but these two teams are that close to each other.
Yeah, I think you definitely saw that both teams are going to compete, completely till the end. And we fought. Each and every single one of those matches, there wasn't a match, that wasn't just contested as hard fought as it could. And even the ones that ended in falls. It was guys looking and going in positions, and maybe just overextending yourself a little bit, or kudos to the other guy who was just laying out to go get that bonus point in that fall.
3 falls for the Governors. Noah Williams, Jacob Larson, we thought looked real good tonight, but for Reagan Bolweg and Owen Warren in particular, it seems like 8 or 10 matches that these two have gone at it the last couple of years, and Reagan's been getting the upper hand, but nothing like an 8-0 lead like he had, and then to finish it in a fall. This is just a kid getting better and better, and where does this leave a kid like Owen Warren now, and finding a kid that I don't know if I can beat this guy.
They've tried a few different game plans, and I think tonight you saw a completely different game plan than they've tried in the past. Even when Owen Warren was still at Yankton, you've seen him play the cat and mouse game. You've seen him play I want to do the 1-0, and Reagan won 1-0 last time they wrestled. This time you really saw Owen Warren open up, and you saw Reagan Bolweg score in bunches. And so, I'm not sure they'll go back to that game plan again. I've tried a million different things against Reagan, wrestling him, different positions, wrestling him a different speed, a different style. And bottom line that I know is Reagan makes in-match adjustments, and he finds ways to score. And he's aggressive, he's heavy, even when it doesn't look like all the pressure's there. He is wearing you out with what's going on the mat. So it was a fun match to see.
Brandon Valley's got a lot of guys, though, that you seem to try a whole lot of different things, even within one match, and they can frustrate you pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty good at that. So, but still, I think two teams that kind of bring the best out of each other, and you may get that again tomorrow when you get to especially that Rapid City Stevens match, but you've got 4 duels coming up. Sturgis will be a fun one especially, and what are we looking forward to tomorrow?
Each and every single one of those duels is going to be kind of like this. it's going to be a lot of guys just swinging for the fence and trying to get some things done. And, hopefully that, our depth ultimately is what shines through and brings us through a lot of those duels. It's the way we match up, Spearfish maybe not as deep as we are. We should be able to take advantage in a lot of weight classes. Sturgis is going to be a knockdown, drag-out duel. It always is. Anytime, you're wrestling a Sturgis team, that's just the way it is. Its points are a premium. They're hard to get, and where you better get a lot of them because you might not get any more somewhere else. And then Rapid City Central, again, we're just going to have to take advantage of some of their youth. And then when we get into the last match versus Stevens, I mean, it's on. It's every year. It's us and them, and it's always an exciting duel. Sometimes they're better, and yet we still get the win. And it's went the other way at other points and times too. But I think it's definitely going to be 4 fun, well-contested duels.
That's what makes it one of the best days of the year. The East-West duels. Coach, good effort tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow, all right?
All right, thank you. Appreciate
Lewis,
it.
The Governor head coach. Governors beat Brookings 66-12, but fall to Brandon Valley 36-30. Thanks to the coach for his comments here, pregame and postgame. And we've got one order of business to take care of. It's the naming of tonight's players of the game. Well, the player of the game for the Brandon Valley event coming up. Let's take a 2-minute break, though, and we'll be back, and we'll hear from our Bauman Lumber player of the game next. This is Governor Wrestling.